This feels like the end. Integrity compromise. Planar balance factor displaced. Maintain structure at any cost. Maintain the structure. The quivering pile of metal bears little resemblance to a living creature. The voice that addresses you is the only sign of sentience. Identification process complete. Crusaders recognized. Crusaders are enemies of Aureli Voresh. Initiating protocol. Communication with potential allies. Step 1. A request. Crusader, I ask you to attack and kill me. Who are you? Name. Imzalan. Creature type. Invertible. Status prisoner. Objective termination. Why do you want me to kill you? Necessity. My existence sustains the energies and the integrity of the Threshold Fortress. The Threshold Fortress protects Aureli Voresh. Conclusion. My existence sustains the enemies of the Order. My existence must be terminated. Obstacle. Existing protocol. Self-destruction is prohibited. Self-destruction is prohibited. If you attack me, you will activate my self-defense protocols. I will defend myself. I will be destroyed in battle. This scenario fulfills the objective and does not contradict existing protocols. Conclusion. The Crusaders need not reach the most secure areas of Threshold Fortress. Or need to reach the most secure areas of Threshold Fortress. My death will cause the collapse of Threshold Fortress. Therefore, the Crusaders must terminate my existence in order to achieve their objective. Risk assessment. My death may cause some of the fortress exterior structure to collapse. It may become difficult to return to the entrance of the fortress. Can you explain to me in detail what will happen if you die? Chaos will prevail. The defensive and load-bearing magical structures that sustain the integrity of the threshold will be destroyed. There is a high risk that the fortress exterior walls and gates will collapse. However, my death will also destroy the defenses around the heart of the threshold where Aureli Voresh is situated. The heart of threshold is where the heart of the Worldwound is. The heart of the Worldwound. This location is currently inaccessible to the Crusaders. Therefore, the Crusaders require my termination. I want to ask you some questions. Initiating protocol. Provide information to a potential ally. I am ready to respond. How did you get here? I was on a deep reconnaissance mission. I was sent by the Axomites of Axis to investigate a strange new disturbance in Threshold Fortress. But I was captured by Aureli Voresh and her demonic allies. Since then, I have remained both her prisoner and her test subject. The inevitable essence is used to stabilize the structure that sustains the Threshold Fortress. But can you tell me about Threshold? The Threshold Fortress is the central location of the load-bearing magical structure that enables the Worldwound's existence. The Threshold Fortress is the most suitable place, stable part of the wound, the only part that is minimally affected by the principle of chaos of the abyss. This paradox should not lead to confusion. The Threshold Fortress remained in a state of quintessence, but this is not a natural state. Aureli Voresh used an external source of power to prevent its destabilization. This is the purpose I am willingly serve. I am to supply the power necessary to sustain Threshold Fortress. What can you tell me about Aureli? Aureli Voresh, formerly a mortal woman, now a half-demon in possession of mythic powers. Threat level comparable to Demon Lords. Psychological profile extremely unstable. Her capacity for deep analysis and understanding of coexist with her predisposition, manias and fixations. Conclusion, Aureli Voresh is an enemy of order and therefore subject to termination. What can you tell me about the Worldwound? A comprehensive account of all the data I've collected on this phenomenon will take, by my calculation, 4 days, 6 hours and 35 minutes. An account of this duration is unacceptable under the current circumstances, proceeding to recount key points and key points only. Point 1. The Worldwound is an artificially created planar rift. It is an intersection between the material plane and the plane of the abyss. The Worldwound allows demons to travel freely from the abyss to Golarion, and it also creates a favorable environment for magical cataclysms, anomalies, and phenomena. Point 2. The Worldwound's existence was only made possible as a result of the criminal acts of Aureli Voresh. On 2 occasions, she conducted a ritual to bind a mortal soul, one with the essence of the abyss and one with a demonic soul. The soul-binding ritual acts as the framework for the intersection of the planes. If this ritual is reversed, the soul will only be severed from its bond and the material plane will be severed from the abyss. This source will likely result in the termination of the bonded soul. The prognosis for its owner's survival unfavorable. Point 3. The Worldwound is an unprecedented violation of world order and a powerful weapon of chaos. The Worldwound must be removed at all costs. No more questions. I await your decision. I will grant your request. Let's fight. I thank you, ally. It will be an honor to die in battle.
We will prevail.
I have a feeling this fight is going to be stupidly hard, but he has a 20 AC, doesn't he? That's...
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Make your peace.
How much AC does he have? Fuck off, game. 1 minute. He has 70 AC. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, damn. He's immune to hold monster. He's a lawful neutral outsider, which means I don't have any other way to lower his AC. Nope, dismissal doesn't work on him. Grey ball.
Simply business.
Even after study target, still 20 AC.
You won't survive me.
Buying this guy is a little bit of a problem for us. And by little, I mean a lot. It's near impossible to hit him. Unless you're a shadow demon, in which case, no issue at all. Okay, you can hit with magic. Damn, he saved against my version of the spell. Son of a bitch! I don't care if you take any damage, Grey Ball, just run the fuck away. You're gonna die if you don't. We do have a bunch of items in our inventory that we just don't use. We could use some of these, you know, kill, or, you know, maim, or do anything, really. Yeah, I don't really think there's any spells that are going to be really worthwhile casting. Yeah, my inventory just... There's too much crap in there for me to really even know what I could use that would be worthwhile using. Thank God we have a shadow demon. That's more like it, me.
Out of my sight.
Greyboard, just stay there. Just stay there. It's okay. You don't need to do anything. You've done what you needed to do.
Desna, guide my hand.
I wonder, is he immune to... Yeah, everyone's immune to magic missile. Like, it's just... No point having that spell.
I will see to your demise. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Make your peace.
Snowball? Will that spell hit him? Yeah, it does. Nice.
Do not hold back.
I do hope I have some time to heal before we fight Arilu. Okay, looks like we do.
Oh, the waiting's never fun.
I'm prepared.
Okay, all of our buffs are still active.
Meditate on your mistakes. Might make you feel better.
Missed me already.
I shall not be swayed from my path. Anything new?
Nenio, I've got a book that I can't believe you haven't read yet. Really annoyed that she didn't have that. Okay.
Practice makes perfect.
Rules are made to be broken.
Give a quick save. Papers with erratically scribbled calculation of formula. The words "I promise" are written repeatedly in the margins. Okay. Shards of several dozen large diamonds. They appear to have been used in an unsuccessful attempt to cast a spell. An empty stand that may have once held a large crystal. A simple diagram of a tower next to a quick sketch of a room with a large crystal in the center. Trying to set like an eerie edge here, and I like it. Is all my sword bonds still here?
I stand
No,
ready.
let's just fucking use them again just to make sure. Quick save. Go meet Arilu.
We march ahead.
Something about this strange place feels oppressive. The air is still and silent, yet you can hear the distant echoes of words, promises, and battle cries. You strain to hear what's being said, but you can only make out a few words. Finally, cease, sorcerer. I promise, I promise.
Can't be dismissed as a calculation error. You knew failure was a possibility. Then why? Why?
Arilu's silhouette looks just as surreal as the sound that fills the place. She's not looking at you and seems lost in thought. Her voice is dull and tired, and there is no trace of hospitality she showed you at the entrance of the fortress. It's over, Arilu. There's nowhere left for you to run.
Yes, it's decided. I will tell you the truth before we fight to the death. Would you like to know why I upended your life?
Arilu barely seems to hear you. After a while, she turns towards you, as if noticing you for the first time. She looks at you for a moment as her expression changes. The tiredness in her eyes gives way to a cold, hard resolve. Speak.
This place is my demi-plane. I created it when I was a prisoner in Threshold. I would slip away to conduct my rituals here in secret. This is where I decided to create what mortals would later call the Worldwound. This is where I made all my preparations. Do you understand? Escaping was never my goal. I could have easily disappeared from Threshold. I could have passed through it like water through sand, but that wasn't my goal. Some believe that I brought Sarkoris to ruin out of revenge. And there is some truth to that. I had reason to take revenge. You didn't listen to my words in Iz, and you didn't find a way into the secret part of my laboratory. Otherwise, you would know what I'm talking about. My laboratory. The old house in the middle of nowhere that marked the entrance to my lab. It was the home of Arilu Vorlesh when I was still a mere mortal. I lived there with my son, away from the din of the crowd, and sheltered from the keen gaze of the Sarkorian witch hunters. It was a place where the reality of our world was in close proximity to the abyss. A place where I could study the magic forbidden to all Sarkorians. I thought I had hidden my home well, but I was wrong. They found it. They found us. At that hour, I was there, in the laboratory. That damned laboratory I loved so much. I was absorbed in one of my experiments when the hunters arrived on our doorstep. I was sitting at my desk, recording my observations, thoughts, and calculations, as was my habit. That's when I heard the noise outside. The fight was brief. It barely lasted a moment. By the time I sensed that something was amiss and hurried out to see what was happening, it was too late. All I could do was cradle the body of my dead child and cry after their departing soul. I promise.
Nothing can justify the killing of a child.
I am not concerned with whether it was justified or not, or with the application of morality, the law, or the teachings of any god. Look around you. This demi-plane. The first time I escaped from my cell and ran here, I was trying to resurrect my son. I tried many things, but all my efforts were in vain. The soul had already received Pharasma's judgment, and had been sent on the path determined by the gods. Into the abyss. And when I realized that, I rebelled. But not against my jailers. Not against those who had murdered my child. Not even against Sarkoris. My uprising was against destiny. Death, and the laws that the gods had forced upon our lives. I realized then that I wouldn't be satisfied with simply returning my son to life. I had to shatter this order once and for all, and make it so that neither Pharasma and her lackeys, nor death itself could ever stand between us. Only by stepping beyond the bounds of what had been ordained for mortal kind. By obtaining powers that rivaled the divine, could we become free. And with this newfound purpose, I turned myself into a half-demon. Fusing the spiritual essence of the two planes was the only way I could achieve my goal. I let the abyss into my soul, and into this world. I opened the Worldwound. I danced around 3 demon lords, making them assist me without ever revealing my true intentions. They just believed they were dealing with another power-hungry mortal. But in reality, I was after one thing. I wanted to find what was left of my son's soul, and give him a new birth. One that would prevent anything from ever harming him again. And then I found you. I chose you because I felt a faint affinity to you. I thought your soul could accept the remains of my son's soul, like the soil takes a seed. I thought I could bring back my child by tethering the mangled remnants of his soul to a pure mortal soul untouched by the abyss. I thought the power of the Nahindrian crystals would allow me to protect him forever. That I could tear him away from the dominion of mortal nature. But I was mistaken in both assumptions. Now I'm about to face the consequences of my mistake. You will witness them as well.
The strange reverberating echoes of the demiplane fall silent. All you can hear is Arilu's sad, quiet voice.
Yet another obstacle.
I will resist.
Do we really have to fight more? We not have like the big end fight now game. It's
You won't survive me.
like I'm having fun, but no more fights, please. Well, no more fight other than the big end boss, but how many fucking attacks? Ten attacks. Fuck me.
It's your time to cease to exist.
Nice try. Didn't work though.
There we go. Give all of us haste.
Prepare yourself.
Alright. Filer's gone. Get rid of this pain in the ass. See, I knew I was right about this being one of the most painful creature fights.
Strike as one.
Oh great, I got to attack once.
You're in my way.
You should have listened
Fuck
to
you,
reason.
desolating Galu Stormcaller.
Desna, guide my hand.
Make every strike count.
Yeah, Desna's obviously not able to guide your hand, or, you know, might have hit. Did not mean to end your turn, but alright.
Mind over muscle. Make your peace.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
You not know why its AC suddenly dipped, but okay.
We shall overcome. This ends you. You had your chance.
Doesn't seem to want to do anything, which is weird.
You're irrelevant. I will resist.
More than enough key points, so I may as well.
Do not hold back.
I think for most of the game, Radiance has been shit.
Simply business.
It's been really good now.
I'll make short work of this.
I'm very concerned that this Galu is not doing anything.
Prepare yourself.
I feel like the game heard me when I said no more fights. And the game is like, fuck, he doesn't want to fight anymore. Well, I guess we'll give him that. And we got a mythic rank. Do it.